Okay, so previously we already looked at a square minus b square. So right now we're going to change our attention to these two formula. Okay, so we're going to change this to these two formula. So if you're going to factorize using this formula, you got to be very good at observing. So you got to be very good at observing. So you got to observe that 1 is actually 1 square. Then you got to observe that 2x is actually 2x times 1. So you must be able to see that it actually matched the 2ab plus b square. So once you see that it actually matched, then directly, okay, so from here, your a is equal to x, your b is equal to 1. Then you just plug the a back to x, plug the b back to 1. So that will just be an x plus 1 square. So you can do it by observation. If you straight away see, you can just do an x plus 1 square. Okay? Alternatively, some people, they will go for the cross method or the tic-tac-toe method. So if you go for the cross method or the tic-tac-toe method, right, you will still end up with the same bracket. You can give it a try. Okay, so if you cannot recognize, but you realize that that's a quadratic expression, you can still go back to your cross method. But I will advise that you can recognize. It helps in your upper set work. So if you can recognize, it's actually easier. So the next one, okay, x squared. X squared is usually the not so challenging one. Okay, here comes a challenge. This is 10x. How am I going to split into this? So if you think a little bit backwards, it'll be 2 times x times 5. So can you see? It'll be 2 times x times 5. And it actually matched the 2ab plus b squared. So your a will be a x, your b is actually a 5. So that will become x plus 5 squared. Okay, again, if you do the cross method, your tic-tac-toe method, multiplication frame method, you will get the same answer. Okay. So if you can directly see, you don't even need to do any working. So here comes the next one. The next one is a minus. So if that is a minus, I'm going to expect that it will be the second formula. So it is a 6y. So I'm going to reorganize. Then it will be 2 times y times 3. Change the 9 to 3 squared. Then again, you observe a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So your a is y, your b is 3. So you will get a minus 3. It's the second formula. So can you do a cross factorization or a multiplication frame? You can. But I strongly advise that you can mental. Okay, the next one. Okay, the next one for D, there is a minus here, so I'm expecting the second formula. But before that, we observe, I hope you have, the first instinct is there is actually a common factor. So do you realize that there's a common factor? That's a very, very basic thing. After the common factor, I'm going to try to match. So I try to match, so I get a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So the second formula will get me back to x minus 1. Because my a is x, my b is 1. Okay, the next one gets even more complex. Okay, the next one is really a little bit more complex. Okay, so I will suggest, okay, This is a, so 4 is a perfect square. 20 is already not a perfect square. So this could be your first step. You don't know what to do with the 20. Okay. Oh, but maybe you can think of it this way. The formula says that you need a 2. There's a 2ab, right? So maybe you can do it this way. You can put a 2 and it becomes a 10x. So 20 is 2 times 10, 10x. Then here, it will become a 2x. Then I'm going to reduce the 10x again. 10x becomes a 2x times 5. So you observe carefully, you get your a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So a is equal to 2x, b is equal to 5. So you get a 2x plus 5 squared. If you find this challenging, never mind. You go for your cross factorize or your multiplication. You will still get back the same answer. Okay, so you can give it a try. Okay, the next one, I also will say that it's not so straightforward. It's a minus. So I'm expecting the second formula. So the second formula is a minus 2. Okay, so I put a 2. I'm going to change the 12xy to 6xy. 2 times 6xy, there is still a minus 12xy. So I further break down the 6xy. I will break down to 3x and 2y. So if I break it down like this, I will have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So my a is a 3x, my b is a 2y. So I will get 3x minus 2y. Again, if you find this challenging, go to your cross method. It will still work. But if let's say you can see it direct, right? You can just straight away give the answer. So there are people, right, from here, they directly gave the answer. From here, they directly gave the answer. So if you are aiming to do double math or your school is like no choice, you have to do double math in upper set. You got to be very strong in all this factorization and expansion. So it will be advisable that you actually mentor. Okay. Otherwise, you'll find that there are so many layers of work for A math. Okay. So for this example, right, if let's say you really cannot, then you just do your cross method. In exam, it will still get you the same answer if your cross method is not wrong.